let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer taking a look at race number 8 at Oaklawn Park. It is the co-feature on a Saturday afternoon card. Let's throw up the field for the $150,000 American Beauty Stakes. Fillies and mares going 3/4 of a mile. And I guess it was just so 2020, Mike, that the 7 Frank's Rocket was 5-1 in the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
Yeah, that was a little bit surprising, to say the least, wasn't it? I mean, she looked almost like a no-hoper in that race and somehow took money in there. Listen, she's a perfectly fine horse. This is her distance. It feels like she's landed in a good spot here. So we'll see if she can just do a little better this time.
Oh, hold on a second. You're saying she's a perfectly fine horse. Now, all last year, all you kept saying was, I'm not a fan of Frank's Rocket. I'm not a fan of Frank's Rocket. I want to try to beat Frank's Rocket. And then Frank's Rocket would make you pay every time. Have you finally come to your senses?
I would argue that she never really made me pay by winning the races that she was winning at 2-5 and 3-2, stuff like that. That never made me pay. And I'm not sitting here suggesting that she's some kind of superstar. She won races last year where I tried to beat her at short prices. Doesn't make her a great horse.
I've always been a bigger fan of Frank's Rocket than you. We take a look at our Timeform US pace projector. She's going to have to deal with some other heat in here. Ladies Island is very fast. And from this outside post, I just think Ladies Island is going to do what she does, and that is try to clear to the front. Amy's Challenge is a very fast horse that has done good work at Oaklawn Park and found her way back into form towards the end of last year. Those two might hook up a little bit. And I guess Frank's Rocket will be chasing a fast pace, but she could be in the garden spot.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it too, Dan. I mean, I do expect the 9 and the 6 to, perhaps go at each other early in here and set it up for somebody else. I guess the logical horse for them to set it up with is Frank's Rocket. It does feel to me like she could fall into a really good trip here.
The number 1, French Empire, she'll be hanging at the back of the pack, hoping that this is an electric pace up front. She's probably a little bit better on synthetic. She did some really good work at Turfway Park this winter, but she's proven on dirt, albeit against weaker horses. This barn historically does well at some prices at Oaklawn each and every year. French Empire obviously have to improve from a buyer speed figure standpoint, but I wouldn't be surprised if she could maybe sneak into the number somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the right setup, she could. If nothing else, she's in the best form of her career right now. The last 3 times they've sprinted her, she won all 3 of those races. 2 of them are on synthetic, but one of them was on dirt, and they've earned her the best figures of her career. So I guess she's in good enough form to take a shot here, but she's going to need to catch some breaks, I think, to come out on top.
And then number 2, She's So Majestic, won 3 consecutive sprint races in 2020, and then they just threw her to the wolves in the Derby Day Distaff. Not only was she in against Serengeti Empress, who of course came back to run second to Gamine in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint with a 98 buyer, but that was a very, very fast pace she was chasing in that race. No wonder she tired to last. I'll give her a mulligan for that. Her prior race over a wet track against weaker company was okay.
Yeah, it was. That was shortly after the claim from this trainer, too, and it feels like she took a pretty big step forward there. The issue with her is pace once again, Dan. It worked against her last time, and it could work against her here again. I mean, she's landed in another stakes race with a lot of speed.
Good to see Magic Dance have back-to-back races without another pesky layoff line. This is a 4-year-old filly with only 6 lifetime starts, and I really like the way she won that debutante at Churchill Downs as an early 2-year-old. And then it just seemed like Steve Asmussen had a lot of problems getting her to the races. When he was able to get her to the races last year, it was a 2-turn spot that was too far. It was against 4 Graces, who was going real good at the time. She came off the layoff last time out with a win at the fairgrounds. It was in slow time, but she still has upside.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she does here. I actually, like you, it feels like I liked her as a 2-year-old. I thought each of her first 2 starts were good. Her Adirondack, not as bad as it looks on paper. She stumbled badly at the start there, and I actually felt like was a good third in that race. And then, for whatever reason, they just couldn't get her back to the races. I thought she ran well last time. I didn't think she got a great trip in there, and I thought that she won anyway. It just came back a little slow.
Sunnydale's the 4. Sunnydale raced on turf last time. Now let's draw a line through that race. She's not a turf filly. Let's look at a race 2 starts back at Parks. Now this is against Pennsylvania-bred allowance runners. She is 2-5. She is on the lead in mid-stretch. This qualifies as a pretty bad loss.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. This is not a good loss. And it just, when you watch this race, Dan, look at her overall form, and then, try to make it happen for her in this race. It's just a really hard thing to do. How did she not win that race?
Well, I guess the angle is she's an Oaklawn horse for course. She's 3 for 4 at Oaklawn. She's 0 for 13 elsewhere. It still is a reach considering she's got to win that race, in my opinion, at Parks if she's going to step up and face these. Wildwood's Beauty is a horse that you used to like. You've lost her, or she's lost you. She's run some nice races. She was third last time out at Keeneland behind Amy's Challenge, who kind of got away on the lead that day. I think the early part of that card was speed favoring, or at least everyone on social media seemed to think. Wildwood's Beauty tried to come all the way around before flattening out. Scott Becker does good work with horses off of freshening. Take a look at this Formulator Fact. Over the past 5 years, with older dirt sprinters off a 2 to 4 month 2 to 4 month layoff, 51% winners and a $3.27 ROI. This mare would benefit from some pace. Just didn't win that often.
Yeah, I like how you're, trying to dress her up here for me to try to sucker me back into her, Dan. I didn't think she ran well in that Keeneland race last time. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I thought overall she got a good trip, even with Amy's Challenge loose on the lead. If she wanted to try to win me back, how about being second in that race? To me, her finishing third there and getting run down from behind is no good. And listen, I don't know. I'm done with her, Dan. As you've already alluded to, I bet her a bunch of times last year where I felt like she was in good spots. And I'm just not willing to go back in on her again. That inside information, the loss in the inside information last year, to me was a little bit disgraceful. A perfect trip off of a fast pace, getting the jump on Pink Sands, and then getting run down by Pink Sands. Never again.
All right. And it's possible she's also a little bit better at 7/8 of a mile. The 6 is Amy's Challenge. It was nice to see Amy's Challenge get back into form because she was really good early in her career, especially at Oaklawn. Then it looked like maybe she was going a bit the wrong way. And maybe we were thinking she's getting a little long in the tooth. Well, not last time out at Keeneland. Let's watch that McConnell Springs. She went right to the front in that race. She took no prisoners. You're going to see Wildwood's Beauty on the outside briefly run into second. As Mike mentioned, she does get run down for third. Amy's Challenge kept on going. 89 by her speed figure. I think the key to this race, Mike, was that she was able to shake loose on the turn. And I'm not sure that could happen here with a horse like Ladies Island involved.
Yeah, it feels like it has to be different for her in here, right? With Ladies Island. I mean, to me, that Keeneland race, that pace just wasn't fast, Dan. She didn't have to go fast to get to the lead. She was clear basically all the way around there. I just felt like she had all the best of it last time. And listen, I'm not going to knock her either because she's a really nice horse and she's fast. And her, very best race is going to make her super tough in here. We'll just see what kind of price is, and we'll see how she deals with Ladies Island early.
Frank's Raquette, obviously the horse to beat, just in too tough in the Breeders' Cup Sprint against the boys, but her prior races were very, very good against fillies and mares. The reason Mott ran her in the Breeders' Cup Sprint is compared to the filly and mare counterpart. He likes her better at 6 than at 7 furlongs. I thought she was coming into her own towards the end of 2020, Mike. She might get the right trip. And again, I think we've said it all. She's just the horse to beat.
Yeah, she probably is. She's supposed to get the right trip in here. Again, she's probably going to be a pretty short price in this race, Dan. And, I still feel like she's a little bit of a phony baloney. When she gets good trips against soft field, she looks really good. And when she gets in against real good horses, I think she's exposed a little bit.
Best kept secret going turf to dirt. Dirt might be her best surface. Let's go back to her most recent dirt race over the summer at Canterbury. This is an optional claiming race. She is the favorite in this race. Now, she took some pace seek throughout in here, so I'm not going to be too hard on her from being run down from behind. She does hold second. The other horse that pushed the pace was not close, but it was a slow race, and she's facing much better horses.
Yeah, in a tough spot here, and as another horse who likes to show speed, Dan, and it feels like she can't make the lead in here.
Lady Island has won 17 of 34 lifetime starts. She likes to be a one-way speed. Let's watch her win in the Grade 3 Sugar Swirl. She just didn't give him a chance early. She blasted away to this uncontested lead, and that's how she likes to roll, and she is all out at the end of this 6 furlong race to win. Now, watching the races at Gulfstream that day, I thought there was a strong inside speed bias. Ladies Island, I think, took advantage of it. This time around, she's going to have to work if she's going to clear Amy's Challenge. I respect Ladies Island. This is a tougher spot.
I respect her too, and I agree with you that this is going to be tougher with Amy's Challenge in here. That race we just watched, it's a little bit of winning ugly in there, Dan, but she got it done. Listen, I wasn't thrilled with her form at the end of last year either, so I feel like she's got something to prove, but man, is she a good horse.
top pick time for the American Beauty. If this race was run in 2020, you would take Mike's selections and slide them over under my name. You would have Mike's selections, and it would all be completely screwed up. Frank's Rocket, Mike's top pick, it's just completely thrown me for a loop. 7-3-5-6 for you.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed actually to have her on top, Dan. You know what I should have done? I should have just went and put Magic Dance on top at a price and see what happens. I'll use that horse. I have Frank's Rocket on top, and I have no excuse for it.
I'm going with Wildwood's Beauty. I'm going to be a little bit more forgiving for her last race, although I think Mike made a very valid point in that it was somewhat disappointing that she didn't hold second. 5-7-6-1 for me, 7-3-5-6 for Mike. It's the American Beauty Stakes, one of 2 stakes races for fillies at Oaklawn Park on Saturday. Good luck.